So today we are covering how to lower your costs for a PPC and get the absolute lowest cost that you possibly can. We're talking rock bottom. There are 3 ways that we can lower our costs, but before we do that, we got to get really in depth about how paying for ads actually works, because the cost has a lot of things that go into them. PPC is a supply and demand market. Okay, and that helps determine the price. We're going back to Econ 101 here. So the supply of ads is how many sellers are willing to advertise their product, and also how much are they willing to pay for those ads. And at the same time, we have the demand side over here. How many people are coming to search for these keywords and clicking on ads and looking at products? And you can't just say one market is incredibly saturated unless you take both into account, because some markets have way more sellers than there are searches relatively, and so ads are incredibly expensive. But other times of the year, there are way more people searching for a product than there are sellers, aka Christmas. And so typically during the holidays, ad costs go way down, or whenever your in season is for your product. So keep this in mind. This is a supply and demand market. When one of those changes, the other one is the price is going to change. 2, remember that you only pay for an ad every time a customer clicks on it. But that's not actually what matters. We need to step back for a second and look at, if I was Amazon, what would I do? Because that will help you figure out about half of the game here in the Amazon spectrum. So Amazon really is only looking at maximizing their total profit earned from these ads. They're not just trying to get as many clicks as physically possible. They're looking at a lot of other stuff. So Amazon's total profit earned, let's take a look here. Okay, their total profit earns is equal to how much they charge you for a click. That's the CPC, cost per click, and how often that product gets a click. Okay, ding, ding. That's the first light bulb that should have gone off. So if your product gets clicked way more often than other products, Amazon can charge you a lot less per click, and they still make the same amount of money, if not more. Okay, so we'll come back to that. Also, we got to look at one other thing, which is the total cost to you, because we're not just trying to get clicks. We're trying to get purchases of our product. So the total cost to you for a purchase is how much does it cost for a click. Multiply that by how well you convert. So if you convert at 15%, it'd actually be divided by, okay, if your ad cost per click. If your cost per click is $1 and you convert at 15%, that means that you're going to cost you about $6 for an ad. 1 divided by 0.15 is $6 to get a purchase. So we've got 2 things here that should have gone off, okay? How often you get clicks matters, and how well your product converts when someone clicks on it. And conversion just means, how frequently do they buy? The more frequently people buy, a higher conversion rate. The less frequently, your product sucks, and also you have a low conversion rate. So now we are stuck at the point where we can see the 3 options we have to decrease cost. Here they are. Write them down, take notes, put them on your nightstand. So the very first one we've got here is get your ad clicked on at a higher rate. Remember, if your ad's clicked on at a higher rate, Amazon can charge you less per click and still make the same amount of money as all your other competitors. So how do we do this? Well, we don't just call an Amazon rep up and force them to make our ad more clickable. We need to do one of 2 things. Well, there's really one of 3 things we can do. We could change our product so we have a better product, but wait, that's off the table. We already launched this product. So then the other 2 options are, we can change our title, or we can change our first picture, because these are the only 2 things that people see before they click. First picture, title. And I have seen ridiculous decreases in ad costs because people have changed these 2 things, especially the picture, because pictures stand out a lot more than reading titles. Typically, not always, people don't really read the title until they see a picture that catches their eye, or maybe the first part of the title catches their eye. But you should be using that first part of the title. And I'll put a link in the description to how you optimize your ads, how you optimize your product so it is really well done. But the first part of the title better be really catchy, and it better be what you did to innovate your product. Number 2 thing we can do to minimize our costs: get customers to click on your ad, who click on your ad to buy your product at a higher rate. This means you have to have your pictures, your bullet points, your title. They have to tell a really good story, and they should walk the customer from the very first picture, like, I like this product, I'm interested. And second, third, fourth, as we get to the sixth picture, they should fall in love with your product and understand exactly why they want to buy it, and like they're ready to buy. They're at that point in the buy process. At the beginning, they're like, I don't know. At the end, they're down. Like let's go. And the same thing works with your bullet points, but pictures just get seen a lot more often. So I use them as an example. So we need to change. We're going to need to optimize your listing. And this is just, I mean, you guys don't understand how powerful this is. You don't. We had one student, she was losing $40 a day on her ads, $40 a day, and not getting ranked up anywhere. Just her rank wasn't changing. And then we optimized her. We took her ads down because no reason to spend money on bad when your products suck, your ads suck. Then we optimized her listing, put the ads back up. And then 2 weeks after we did that, she had her first $1,000 sales day. Her product rank was really well. She was on page 1 at that point, all because of a better listing. And it wasn't just because her ads started doing well. Everything started doing well, so she started ranking better. But that is the power of it. It's crazy. And then we have the third option, which kind of really pertains to the first two. This is just advertising on more relevant keywords, right? If I advertise my paintbrush on a bucket of paint, okay, that's not what people are looking for. But if I advertise my paintbrush on the word keywords for paintbrush, or even better, if I have a long-handled paintbrush and I advertise on long-handled paintbrush, meaning people know exactly what they wanted, like those are going to do so much better. It's going to make your ads more clickable. It's going to make your ad more people buy your product once they clicked. It's going to accomplish number 1 and number 2 by advertising on more relevant keywords. And you just need to ask yourself one question when you're deciding to sign. Hey Adam, is this keyword relevant? Well, let me tell you, if you search for that keyword and you don't see a bunch of products that are similar to yours on the first part of the page, that's not a relevant keyword, period. Okay, that's just not how ranking works. Amazon puts the products that customers buy most often at the top of the page. And so if your products are not on the top of the page, that means that's not what customers are buying when they search that product. Simple stuff. I mean, you got to remember, you got to back up, think, what would Amazon do? They're going to put the products that get purchased most because they make the most money. Done. So I need to put a little caveat here. There are some other tricks to get your ad cost lower. There is some different things you can do, but the way Amazon's changing the way their ads run, these things change all the time. I'm talking about changing your bidding strategy, changing where you place your ads. I'll bid up 50% to put my ads at the top of the page. That stuff will lower your ad cost if done perfectly. But it's not going to drastically lower your ad cost, period. These 3 things are what's going to lower your ad cost, and nothing else is going to take your product from a 70% ad cost down to 25. Nothing. Because this is what matters. This is what makes Amazon money. Why would they care about anything else? They don't. So this is part 2, minimizing your costs. You've got to do that stuff. Go check out part 3, which is showing you the PPC I set up when I launch a product and why the strategy is what's so important. Or if you want to see that video on how I get my listings incredibly optimized, and that video is right here. I'll see you guys in video 3 or the